Ready? I'm ready. We're good to go.
We're good to go.
I'm good. I've got it.
All right, then let's start it off. Ladies and gentlemen, episode number 65 of Beyond the Rift, starring the one and only I'm a Cutie Pie. With me today, Scar, give him an intro.
What's up, guys? I'm your co-host. Wait, Turtle just cut my intro short. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not important. What's important is our special guest, WildTurtle, otherwise known as Jason. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Everything's good.
Let me ask you, Jason, what do you prefer being called? Do you prefer me calling you Mr. Tran, Jason, or WildTurtle, or just Turtle?
Mr. Turtle is pretty good.
Mr. Turtle.
Mr. Turtle.
That's a pretty good one, yeah.
All right, from now on, Mr. Turtle. But before we get into the topics with Mr. Turtle, I'm going to talk to you guys about the Discord live question and answer segment at the end of the show. You got questions, we got answers. Everyone loves answering questions, and I know Mr. Turtle's a big fan. I know he's thrilled to answer the questions you guys have for him. So please download Discord, ask the questions to him. We'll read them at the end of the show. But let's get straight into it then with topic number 1. So topic number 1, EU has been quoted by multiple pros to be better, if not more toxic region. Do you think toxicity positively correlates with skill level? I'll say yes. That's yes. Mr. Turtle.
I want to hear Mr. Turtle before I say anything.
No, I completely agree. I think EU is a better region. Just the fact that I think the players care a lot more, and yeah, they just care a lot more. So they're gonna be toxic and yo, you gotta they're just really toxic because they care a lot more.
I like how you're about to say like they're toxic, so they're gonna be yo, you gotta improve. No one said they're yo, you gotta go kill yourself.
Yeah,
let's be honest, dude. No one on Europe's hey, you gotta go and improve, dude. That's not up to par. True. I definitely think that toxicity, the only reason people are toxic is because they actually care about winning. All
right,
I agree.
Let me ask this then, because this isn't part of the question. I'm just curious. Do you think that the number one streamer in North America, I'm a Cutie Pie, has caused people to not care about the game as much?
Hell no. Wait, no. Before Turtle answers, I wanna put my case out there. It's not my fault. These stupid fucks are all terrible. That's my case. Turtle, what's your case?
So Cutie is normally pretty good. When he's on his main account, sure, yeah, Cutie's trying to win this game right now. I can feel it. But then when he's on his Smurf and shit, it's just Cutie, are you even playing the game?
You're really gonna do that to me, this motherfucker here?
I mean, you're pretty clean, when you're playing on your main account, you're trying to win. You're doing pretty good, you're doing the right things, but I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm just keeping it real.
So you're saying that I'm the reason that NA's turned into a shit region in solo queue? That's the question Scar asked. So you're alluding to the fact that
no. Personally, I think NA just a lot of players just don't care in general, and even the pro players they actually just don't care. It's I'm a culprit as well. Sometimes I'm always trolling these games, and wow, LCS players trolling all the time, and I'm shit. Yep.
I mean, do you think that whose fault do you think that is that made the culture of solo queue the way that it is? Because I do think that it's weird that I feel people should be I wish someone would I want someone to Cutie, you stupid fuck, what the fuck are you doing? You're so garbage. I hate everything about If someone said that to me, I'd be you know what? This guy, he really cares. He really wants to win this game. That's my bet. But usually it's just lol, Cutie, way to go, man. Lost us the game. It's
yeah, they're really kind about it. If you're throwing the game, they're oh, there's always next time. It's okay, man. But in EU, you literally get death threats, and I think people take those threats pretty seriously. Okay, I'm not gonna be a shit player anymore. I'm gonna get better at this game.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
That's kind of what happens a lot. At least that's my vibe. When I was in EU and I was playing in EU, I wasn't getting flamed all the time, and I'm shit, I'm getting flamed a lot more than I was in NA. And I'm doing these minor mistakes. They're not even big. I just didn't show up for one dragon. I just got death threats, and I'm what?
Holy shit.
Yeah, I played on EU too from NA, and I'm telling you, the things people say, it's some ludicrous shit. They're just I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these people's family lives or some shit, but they're saying some fucking crazy shit. But when they say it, it kind of made me think, like, you know what? Like, I need to get better. Like, I'm not this guy expects so much more from me, and I'm not living up to his expectations. Like, that shit sounds troll as fuck, but it's like, it makes you want to get better. Like, in NA, I don't, like, who gives a fuck? Like, if I just start throwing a game, it's like, is anyone going to even do anything? No one gives a shit. Like, no one types anything. The game's over. We lost. All right, on to the next one.
Actually, there was like one instance. You guys know Helicopter, right?
Yeah.
He was like flaming me every game.
Oh,
and
what
then,
the
like
fuck?
every time he was in my game, because like I was like trolling a lot when he was on my team. So like every time he's in my game now, I like try super hard, like try really hard to carry. So like that was like my main motivator.
Wait,
guy,
so
really?
Were you?
Yeah.
Wait, so were you the reason he got banned? Because he got banned. Were you trying to get him banned?
I mean, he was being really toxic, but
Wait,
what kind of toxicity?
I didn't get him back.
What kind of toxicity does he do? Because whenever I have him on my team, every time I've had him on my team, people are like, "You're a two-faced bitch, Helicopter. Fuck you." And I'm just like, he seems like the nicest guy. He's never said anything. He's always got a positive attitude.
No. That's not him. The thing is, he's in my stream too, so he tells me good things. But when I see what he writes to the enemy team or like the AD he's laning with, I'm just like, oh, that's how it is.
Yeah, he's fairly toxic, I guess.
Fairly toxic. But do you think
fairly toxic?
Do you think that he deserves a ban for being toxic? Do you think Toxicity deserves a ban?
I'd say no, but it depends on what kind of threats.
Yeah, I'm not talking about. I'm gonna find you and dismember you. Like that shit's like that's a dude. You got it's.
Yeah,
that's a little far. But if someone's like, "Hey, you stupid fuck, what the fuck? Like, go do this shit, you idiot." If you don't think that is.
No, I think that's good. I think that's positive. Like,
so
that's like positive.
So let me.
It's like helping everyone around you.
Yeah. So let me ask you: if I tell my jungler, "Hey, you retard, come gank my lane, or we're gonna lose," do I deserve a 10 game chat restriction off that?
Nope. You do not need that.
That was positive reinforcement, I'd say.
Oh.
I don't know if positive reinforcement.
That's just like, come on, man. Like, if you don't show up here, this game is lost. You know.
Yeah.
Like my lane is completely over, and if you're not showing up, like we can just take the loss. And if you really care about the game, that's the shit you say. If you care about the game, if you care
so I'm the jungler in this position, okay, and I've had the top laner say to gank my lane. And then the bot lane at the same time to say to gank my lane. And when I gank one of them, the other one then flames me. What is the right play in this position for me?
You flame them back.
Yeah, either you flame them back, or you can take the civil approach and just like mute them. That's a pretty civil approach.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think that this game, like the Riot Light era made this game into like it feels very weird sometimes playing solo queue because it's just like it's like the calm before the storm, but the storm never comes. Like everyone's feeding their ass off in like a game that I have, and no one says anything, and then the game's over, and it's just like what happened? Like,
I mean, the only thing that really comes out is just like, yo, FF15 this game open or what?
Yeah.
You know, like,
I think you guys are right. Like, I think that people just don't. It's rather than saying that no one tries, people just don't care. You know, because like if I'm playing bad or like I see we're like 0-6 at 5 minutes, I don't want to play the game out.
Yeah, I'm a culprit as well. I'm just like, yo, let's just open or like 15 minutes surrender. Like, we're not winning this game, especially not for my role.
But like maybe 2% of the time we do win that game because I mean 2% is probably like not even generous enough. Probably like 5%, 4 to 5% of the time we win that game. But it's like I don't want to put in the effort to win that game.
I say that all the time. It's like we could win this game, but the amount of like no one wants to try this fucking hard. Like I'd have to be typing up an essay to my fucking teammates. Like you guys need to start doing this. You need to start pressuring this lane. You need to get the waves ready so we can. Like no one wants that shit, dude. I agree with you. Like I don't know. I wouldn't mind doing that if I could throw in some vulgar language.
Yeah, I think I mean like being vulgar just means like shit's going down.
Yeah.
I really care about this.
Yeah, because like if I have to type, "Hey guys, we're not doing that well. Can we start shaping up? I want some pressure in this lane so I can start pressure." Like, no, if I type like that, they're gonna, "Hey, shut up, you fucking idiot!" Like they could be feeding their ass off. They're just gonna tell, "Hey, fuck off, cutie." Like, I think this game you should be able to be a little toxic because I do think toxicity makes you. It doesn't make you a better player.
It makes you a better player.
Maybe it makes you a better player, but it makes you feel like people care more because that's the biggest problem. I feel like, in just NA and no one gives this shit, dude. I just had a game.
Yeah.
Did you watch that last game that I had with Solo?
Yeah, you just started feeding.
Yeah,
and he started feeding. He took Tarzan's red buff.
Yeah,
oh god,
he was just feeding his ass off the whole time. No one even said anything. Like. Nothing that whole game. He was just feeding. He picked Master Yi top, and it's just like the game's over. Okay,
the game's over. Yep.
Yeah, like the game ended. We were at loading screen or the fucking end screen, and no one says anything. Everyone just left and went on.
You know what you guys are sounding like? It sounds like you guys are trying to like repair a relationship. It's like, hey, you guys just need to care more. You know, so we can work our way through.
I'm saying maybe it is like that because it just feels like no one gives it. Like I'm telling you, if tomorrow I pick Disco Nunu and entered every gate, no one would give a fuck. They'd just be
prove it.
I don't want to prove it because I care too much. But I'm saying like if I just started
I think at that point like people would start being like, yo, don't play Disco Nunu or I'm dodge. I think people just dodge Chemto, so like no one's gonna let you in the game. It's not possible.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. It just NA feels fucking weird. So we can all agree NA is garbage though because there's not enough toxicity.
I'm not gonna go that far, but I think that like
I think NA is bad for other reasons. I mean, I just think the player base is not that big in NA, and like I think not a lot of people aspire to be pros. Like from Korea, like you see a lot of like random people like getting really good at the game really quickly, and like there's players that come out of nowhere. But in NA, like there's not. I don't remember like the last player who like really showed up. I think.
Dude, yeah, I agree with you on that. Maybe I'll get flames for this or whatever, but I'm washed up garbage. No one gives a fuck. Every time I play against like these up and coming ADs, they're not up and coming, but it's like these guys are so fucking bad. It's like ridiculous. Like it's like I could come back from retirement and I'd be able to do pretty well, I think, against them. So it's like I don't know what the fuck is up with this region. Maybe it is.
I think. I actually like that a lot about Mr. Turtle said, you know. I think that a lot of times people care a lot about hitting Challenger, hitting Masters. Like, for instance, even on the subreddit, you'll see a lot of people being like, hey, I just hit Challenger for the first time, AMA, on, like, this random champion, right? Where it, like, I very much doubt that's the case for other regions. Like, I don't really see Europe being like, holy shit, dude, I hit Challenger in Europe. You know, if you say that, I'm like, if you say that in Europe, they'll flame the shit out of you, I think. So like,
yeah, probably.
Like, if the aspiration is just to hit, like, the bottom of the ring of the top 200, or, like, hit Masters, which I think is the top 1,000 right now, that's not very high aspirations for people. And, like, not everyone should want to be the best, to be a professional player. But I do think that maybe in other regions, people care more to be better, like, there.
I think so, too. I mean, like, the good players or the players that climb really high in NA solo queue is pretty much like one tricks, pretty much.
Yeah, that's something I don't get is why there's so many fucking one tricks in NA compared to. I guess it's just the player base, but I've been theorizing that NA is just so fucking bad. There's no like you need people to keep one tricks down. Now agree with me or disagree with me, but there's no one to like keep the one tricks down, so their population just starts growing, doubling. It's just like I'll play games now, 7 one tricks in this game. It's like how the fuck is this possible?
I think that actually occurs in other regions too. It's just like maybe a little bit to lesser degree. Like even in Korea, there's like a Karthus one trick in Challenger. There's like a Diana.
Yeah, but do you get 7 one tricks in one fucking game?
No, not anymore.
That's true. Yeah, there's too many one tricks for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, I agree. I actually, now that you brought it up, though, is I do think people don't aspire to go pro as much as they. I feel like before people did aspire for that, but now a lot of people they'll just spam their Twitch link. Like, I feel like
no, exactly. Like, I think a good example for that is like look at CF play. Like, he could potentially be like a really good top laner. Like, he's really good at playing carry toss, but he's like opting to becoming like a streamer instead. So
yeah,
like, he's not even trying to be a pro.
Revenge didn't give up med school, right? He had the option to join an academy team.
Yeah, for Liquid, I think it was.
Yeah, and like potentially be like up there in contention for a starter or top lane, a split down the line. He was like, nah, forget that. I'm going to medical school. It's like a lot of our talent was just like, you know what? It's not good enough for me.
But why do you think that is, though? Because, I mean, I guess I'll ask Mr. Turtle. Don't you feel like isn't being a pro like better than being a streamer or going to med school or some shit like that? Or do you think there's not enough in it?
I mean, I think it depends on like what you, I guess, value as a person. Like for me, I enjoy being like competitive and stuff, and I like playing at the pro level. And I would say there's like a lot of perks like being a pro player as well. So I want to see like how there's that many downsides other than like putting your life on hold. So I think that's like the only thing you really have to weigh when you're choosing these other options. Like you're pretty much like putting your life on hold potentially to like do something that might not work out for you. So I can see the risk of that, I guess. But I think being a pro player is pretty good, at least for me. Like I enjoy it a lot.
Ooh, well, now do you think the people would agree with you if they were in an academy?
Probably. I mean, if you still really like the game and you're like willing to get really good, then I think academy is like a great place for you to like become a good player if you really like enjoy the game. But if you don't like have a passion for the game and you're pretty much just like trying to do it for, I don't know, the money or something, like I don't think it'll work out that well.
How many academy players have swapped onto like the LCS roster?
I think on average it's 1 to 2 a season.
Yeah, I don't think it's that many. It's probably like 1 to 2.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think in that regard, I agree with Scar that maybe I am a part of the problem. Maybe like Night Blue, Shifter are all parts of the problem that people do just. Some people just want to aspire to be pro that maybe could do much more.
Look at all the top league streamers. I want to say everyone has a little, we got a little piece of the problem with all of us. Like I just play off meta shit, right? I play most random shit. If you're on my team, I'm pretty much going to force you to dodge. Like if you care about the game. Like some of the times I'm trying out like Garen jungle, I'll be like, you know what? I hope my team doesn't hate me for this.
Actually, I think why. Sorry. Yeah, you can continue.
I was like, the same is true for like Voy, who wants to try out like AD LeBlanc and like.
Yeah, I see that motherfucker play lethal. The boy picks lethal tempo Mundo, and I'm just like, fuck you, boy.
So actually, I think the problem is like most of the streamers, like they're all playing for like the highlight reels for their YouTube videos, so they're like fucking straight trolling. You know what I mean? Like Shifter is like a good example. Like Shifter goes through these crazy plays in my games, and I'm like, holy shit, that was never gonna work in a million years. But if it did work, sure, you can get a good YouTube video.
So you're saying Shifter is actually culprit number 1 then?
He could. I mean, he still gets pretty up there in ELO, but like he does like go for those crazy risky plays like a lot of the times, I'd say.
I want to point you to Voyboy as target number 2.
I mean, I hardly see Voyboy in my game, so it's hard to.
What are you trying to say?
Fucked up, dude.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't play when he's playing. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's go to the next topic now. So 8.11 80 items got introduced tentatively, and they're adding a bunch of power to non-crit items. Are you excited to see the bot lane change? I mean, I'll start off by saying I think that I'm excited, but it's not like going to be something like people are describing this shit like it's going to revolutionize bot lane. It's probably just going to be the same shit, but now instead of this stupid shit that I play, I'm gonna play like Lucian or something. So it's cool, but for how long that I've played this game, and I imagine Turtle's the same, it's like the meta flips between lane bullies and scaling, and I mean it's just gonna be bullies. So I'm excited because I'm tired of playing for fucking late game, but yeah.
I think it's a pretty good change, at least for like the state of the game in solo queue. I think like it gives AD carry more rooms to like be good players. Because I think AD carries, like, generally you lose the game before you can even get, like, 3 items right now.
Yeah.
Or, like, something like that. And, like, the game snowballs, like, really fast. And AD carries usually, like, come online at, like, 25 minutes or something like that. Like, 3 core. So, like, I think the change is overall, like, pretty good. Just for, like, playing the game in a more fun way, I hope. Like, I think the SS Reaver changes sound really fun.
Dude, well, let me... Oh, sorry. You go.
Let me ask you, because people always like talk about AD's a fucking broken role. It's the best role in solo queue. What do you think of that? Because I'll say, when people tell me that, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. This shit, like, I'm basically sitting here. It's not what the better bot lane wins. It's whoever fucking gets jungle influence. Like, if the jungler just sits bottom the whole game and my jungler is jerking off top lane or some shit, it's like, what the fuck do you even want me to do? Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think the reason why people think AD carry is OP in general is just because, like, bot lane is really OP, like, if you win bot lane, because you pretty much have 2 champions, and supports are, like, crazy strong champions. Like, have you seen Rakan? Like, Rakan, like, literally 1v5s games. So if you ever win lane with Rakan, then I guess, like, the AD carry role is OP, because you're pretty much getting farmed, like, all the time. Like, you just have a huge support, like, carrying you pretty much. And, I don't know, AD carry does feel underwhelming, like, when everyone's playing on your team. Like, if no one's performing on your team and you're playing AD carry, that role feels like shit, though, honestly. Like, you get 4 men from their jungler, from their mid laner. It feels pretty bad, but, like, yeah, I don't know, man. AD carry is just weird in North America, at least. Like, playing AD carry for NA players is kind of troll.
Yeah, like, I feel like I have a lot more success when I just play jungle, but, like, I think AD's pretty like, yeah, if you snowball, you're gonna 1v5 the game. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. But it's, like, if the game's even, it's just like, God, kill me, dude. Like, I have top lane, Camille, jungle, fucking, like, Graves.
But at least would you enjoy it if you can play lane bullies, so you can impact the lane, like, level 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah.
No, I think, like, this change would be really good for, like, Lucian. I think Lucian is actually, like, he's even really good on the current patch, I feel like. I really see into Lucian. I think so. I mean, like my match history is kind of insane on Lucian right now. I'm, like, winning every game on him.
What build do you got? You just go crit?
I just go Essence Reaver, like, Rapid Fire, IE. It's been, like, doing pretty well for me.
This man might be onto something, but
for
I'm
me,
honest.
yeah, for me, I just hate.
I'm honest.
I don't like playing crit scale. Like, from like a mid laner going to AD carry, I want to play like the lane bully stuff. I want to play the Lucians because they're the most fun to play. Like, when the meta switches to the scaling crit, I don't actually know how ADs enjoy the game. Because for me, I'm just like,
yeah,
I prefer to play, like, you know, Lucian, even, like, to some extent Jhin, but Jhin can kind of be like the middle ground. So, like, I actually I'd love for Lucian to come back, even from a mid laner perspective, because he's short range. I can kill him really easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy about these changes happening, and, like, let me ask you, what do you think about they're nerfing health regen bot lane?
Oh, I think that was great. I mean, like, they pretty much lowered the armor and health regen, so I think, like, trades on bot lane are going to be, like, a lot better. Like, you can actually, like, tell who's going to be the better AD carry, I hope, from these changes, because I think having less armor means, like, if you take a bad trade, it's going to stick a lot more.
Yeah, like, what do you think about, because you brought that up now, I feel like bot lane, as of late, like, it just feels like there's not really any expression of skill down there. Like, you just farm up, and then it's just whoever knows how to, like, whoever has their team, like, set, like, you basically just get set up to do well. It's not really, oh my god, this guy's fucking crazy. It's like, oh my god, his team's giving him the space to do stuff, and he's doing it. Like, what?
No, I can feel that. Like, I relate to that pretty well. It's like, bot lane is, like, really hard to tell who's a better player, because, like, right now, supports are, like, they fuck you up hard right now. Like, if you're laning against Soraka, goddamn, you're not playing the game anymore. Like, see you in laning phase, I'll see you at, like, you know, 10 minutes or something. Like, I'm not playing the game right now. Like, that's pretty much how it feels to me. At least, like, whenever I have to play against, like, Soraka, like, those type of champions.
When I get autofilled AD, like, the best people can do, pretty much, unless they have Thresh, is, like, get a 20 CS lead. And then, like, it'll be, like, 100 to 80, and then if I get the jungle kick, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's my favorite, too.
That's pretty much
I'll do it with Shifter. He's like, damn, you got a 20 CS lead? Who gives a fuck? If I die once to the jungle, I lose turret, and then we just lose the game off of the, like, CS leads. That shit doesn't matter, but what you said about Soraka, do you think that'll be a problem with regen being reduced? Because they're not reducing the damage of these champions.
Shit. Yeah, I think Soraka would be, like, probably most OP support if he doesn't change, like, after that. Because, like, for me, like, I have no answer to that champion. Like, when I have to lane against that champion, I'm just like, I'm like thinking of ways I can outplay this champion, but there's like
there's
no way.
actually
like,
nothing you can do.
Her E, she just clicks on you. It's like the easy. It's not even a skill shot. She just clicks on you. Yeah, and it does like what 150 damage plus.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid because it has the airy and the like that shit. That shit tilts the like at least before Soraka had to hit her Q to like do damage. Now with the way everyone plays her, it's just spam me and it's like you just outlaned me. Way to go, dude.
It's very interactive, I'd say.
Yeah. Do you think they should nerf support damage before this or just see how it goes?
So actually, like I think the best way for them to like make the game better is actually to make. I know they want to make like everyone feel the same way, but I think like support deserves or doesn't deserve, but like needs to be a weaker role. Like you pretty much
everyone I've talked to says that. I'm telling you. And then Scar, we got this stupid fuck over here that's like, no, support should be strong.
No. You're literally okay. When I ask you to advocate, how strong should support be? You're just like, I think its support should be up to like my ankles in relative strength. Like I think the support should be happy to like, you know, kind of fan me as I'm making big plays. It's like, no, dude.
Yeah, like
really?
Dude, of course, like dude, support gets way too much power for like throughout the whole game. Like they're strong in lane, strong mid game, and they're strong.
They're strong the whole game.
Yeah,
they're strong the whole game.
Like no role should be strong the whole game. Like there's points where you should be dipping.
Okay, I like the way Apto put it. He said the bot lane duo combined is worth about 2.5 champions right now.
Exactly, yeah.
And like, I would like it if, you know, the AD and the support combined is not 1.8. I think that's okay. Yeah, but I mean, when I talk to you,
I don't mind if
like,
wait. I don't mind if it's 2.5 champions down bottom. I mean, obviously it should be 2 champions bottom, but like I should be 1.5 and the support should be 0.5. Like, that's not even like that crazy. Like, I feel like a support, like, there's not that much diversity with these kinds of, what do they call it?
We're bringing a support main on this show next
week. I would love for you to bring a support main, and I want to.
I mean, so I pretty much like want support to like get less gold, and like I want to be able to tell like which support is like good, and you would just see how they're moving around the map, how they're playing in lane. But right now it's just like, yo, supports are getting too much gold. Like it doesn't matter how well I play. Like if I'm getting this much money and I can buy these items, I'm just gonna win from getting these items. And I don't really like that. I think like just having support like low income and having supports that are good at like making good decisions, making good run plays, etc. Like those are like the good supports.
Yeah, like I feel like it's so hard. Like I'll play against, let's say, Rakan, or I'll have Rakan on my team because Turtle. I think that's a good example. He gets so much fucking gold. He's basically unkillable with that stupid item that amps AD damage. I don't remember what. Zeke's Convergence. There we go. Yeah. There's no like. He's not like, oh, I need a posture here because I can get blown up. It's like, I'm just going to run straight in and ulti, and who gives a fuck because you can't kill me. Like, if you get hit with his ulti, you're guaranteed dead. Like, that champion, I don't know if that's how it feels for you guys, but, like, when I see Rakan, if he has ulti, I'm dead instantly if he uses it. Mm-hmm. And there's, like, there's nothing I can do to stop it because it's not like I can kill him. Like, do you think that's fair, Scar, for a support to be that strong?
No, but I'm just, okay. I think it should just be like, I don't want people to run away from the support role. You know? I just want to make sure that people can still enjoy playing it, and not a lot of people enjoy playing the slave role.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Maybe in your chat you have people who are like, cutie, please, I'd love to be your slave. But like, I think like, maybe in some other games, like, I would say, you know, it should be the support's like 70% of the AD in terms of like, at least laning value, 70 or less. And I think that that's like pretty reasonable. I mean, you know, the way you're making it sound like the support should be 25% of me on a good day.
I mean, let me ask, do you guys ever think that Riot would ever change support? Because realistically, I say all this shit, I know that there's like almost no chance they ever reduce, because not that many people like playing support. If they did this shit, no one would ever play that fucking role.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that they'd actually ever change support?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I think jungle is just like really strong too. I mean, like we came back from like an era where jungler was like, you know, heart of stone, philosopher's stone, or heart of gold, you know.
They buy oracles on Maokai, run around, and they died. We lost the game.
So like that's like kind of what I'm used to. But like junglers nowadays, like if they're ever around my area, I'm like, oh, I'm scared to fight. Like I'll never fight, you know.
Yeah, like like the worst thing about jungle now you could play perfect. If he gets a gank off, he's going to kill your ass. Like, he's going to come bottom and tower dive you, and it's like, well, he's so strong that I either just get off the tower or hope that someone collapses. Like, I've been saying a lot. I don't think that roles should have, like, designated carries, and right now in League, everyone's a fucking carry. I don't think that everyone should, like, they took off the C on ADC because whatever fucking reason, they don't want AD to be the only one that matters, but I feel like having a role that's the carry role is like, that makes sense, right? Like,
yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like, there should be a role that's like, this guy's your designated carry, because right now it's like, your AD's not doing well. Well, you got Ryze, who's basically a fucking mage AD. You got Jungle Graves, who's a fucking AD. You got Camille Top, who can insta-kill anything.
I think that for the most part, it should be the way where, like, you can have some roles carry. Like, you should have carry roles. And just like, the supports should not be a carry-oriented role. They should be encouraging your other roles to be able to carry. But like, I think there should be situations where the jungle can be a carry role. If they want to pick Kha'Zix, or like the mid laner needs to play Galio to round out a team comp, sure, they could take a more supportish position. I don't want to deny the ability to have those type of roles in other lanes, or I want there to be as much versatility as possible.
I'm not saying that other roles shouldn't be able to carry, but I mean, I guess this comes down to, because this is what what people have been like telling me they think these changes are going to be for 8.11 is like, if you could allow bot lane to be more than just an AD carry and like support, I don't care if my jungler wants to play great. I'll play like a tank or some shit bot. Like, I'll do something, but right now it's like everyone's picking a carry. And now I'm picking a carry. Our team comp shit. All right, they lost their lanes, and I have no utility. I fucking lost this game. Like, I have nothing to work off of.
Literally, they're making, like, junglers become, like, AD carries or, like, the carries. And then I think they want to go in a direction, or it's been like this for a while as well. Like, sometimes you just play Ashe or Varus every single game, like that meta. Ashe, Varus, Jhin, just assisting your team from afar. Like, you're not really carrying, but you have the items if the enemy team, like, lets you out of them, pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean, do you not want it to be like that? Do you care if it?
I mean, I just think the income distribution needs to be like more different. Like, I want like the solo laner or like laners to get like a lot of more gold. I want support and jungle to have kind of less impact, because I feel like those. I mean, it just needs to be a balance of like income distribution, I think, because right now it's like everyone gets like pretty much the same amount of gold. I feel. That's
why I've been, dude, Turtle, you're I fucking respect, that's what I've been saying so fucking much, and people will argue with me this shit all day. Turtle, this is a smart boy right here, but Scar, you got anything else for this?
No, that's just really, I didn't think of it that way, but it's true. Everyone gets the same amount of gold. It used to be the support's gold was like 3 times less than your highest carry, right? And nowadays your support gold is like, at the end of the game, 2,000 less, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And then your jungle gold is like the same as your solo lanes. I think the best way to describe it is, and I had a really hard season of transitioning because from like one season where I lost a lot as a mid laner, and I realized part of the reason I lost a lot is because I didn't respect jungle at all. And it used to be that if the jungle ganks, the jungler would have to be scared of you turning on him if you played it poorly. Yeah. Now, if the jungle ganks mid lane, I'm scared for my fucking life. Mm-hmm. Because in any situation, I can't 1v1 the jungler. And so, like, adding the mid lane on, I will always, like, it always overpowers you.
Yeah, and so I think that's why, like, if jungler was, like, slightly weaker and, like, you actually had to play well to get these ganks off, then I would think it'd be, like, a skillful role. But right now, it's pretty much, like, the jungler shows up anywhere. You as a laner always has to, like, be his bitch, pretty much. You can never turn anything on.
Yeah, like, I remember people would I'm gonna turn this shit. I can fight this shit. Now it's like, jungler's top, I'm running. It's just like, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
I want to ask one more thing, I guess, just on the tangent of junglers. Do you think that junglers should have an offensive smite? I've been saying your reward is having smite. You shouldn't be able to fucking use it offensively. Like, that's your secure objective. I feel like red smite is like one of the most it's such a fucking stupid thing. Like, if they got rid of offensive smites, I wouldn't mind jungle that much, but it's like you basically have a built-in exhaust ignite, and you have like ridiculous gold income, and you have the buffs for yourself. Like,
I think challenging smite has needed to be nerfed for several seasons now.
Yeah, I think challenging smite.
Riot just hasn't touched it because there's been more higher priority stuff, and there still is. So it's going to be in the game for a while, but the idea of challenging smite has never made sense to me.
I personally think like, sorry.
Yeah. No, keep going.
I personally think like the best, like the jungle, like the best state jungle has ever been was when the Elder Lizard was a thing. I don't know what, I was like season 4 or 5 when like Elder Lizard was a thing. Elder, what's the other item?
The only one I built was Elder Lizard.
It's Golem.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
But like, I actually think like that jungle era was like pretty good for like junglers overall. Like, cause like at that point, like you're playing champions like Lee Sin, Elise, and those champions like you have to play well to execute these gank stuff. And if you mess up, like you get like really chunked, or dead. So I think like that was like a really balanced meta for jungle at least.
The problem with that is because I remember Soul Lanes abused all the jungle items. I think that Riot tried to put this era where it's like they wanted the jungle creeps to hurt you more, and all that did was kind of deny bad junglers from being able to jungle. Like when I jungle stuff like a Mumu, or I jungle stuff that's like not like good, I lose so much health in the jungle that I'm just like, holy shit. I come out and I see this Olaf coming at me. No pots used. And he's full health and double buff. Clears faster than me. I'm just like, all right, what happened? Like I don't know. I think that definitely jungle balance is one of the hardest things in the game, and they do it every season, right?
Jungle is definitely like really hard balanced, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've said they should just get rid of fucking jungle, but I commend them for attempting to balance it every season. Hopefully they can get it down eventually, but whatever.
I just think making it, I don't want to say this because like there's a lot of junglers out there, but I think like jungle needs to have like a more designated role around the map, whichever that is. But right now they're just like, feels like they're too overpowered.
Alright, let's go to the next topic now then. So it's a common situation for people to get auto-filled into the support role. What's a tip you can give to your support so they can play better? Well, I'll start out. This will just be a pretty quick one to go through. I'll start off. If you don't know how to play the role, just fucking dodge and save me the trouble. Turtle, what's your tip?
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good short-term solution, yeah. But I think like if you get autofill, I mean like even if you get autofill, I feel like every player should be able to play at least like one support personally, like or like at least one champion. Every single role you can like scrape back, because like back then, remember like you didn't really get to choose your roles. Like sometimes like the first pick would get his first pick, and then like it would go down the line, and you pretty much get with you have to choose what roles like left over, you know?
Yeah.
You
You actually think though that every player should learn one champion for every role? I
mean, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that should be how it is, but realistically, no one can fucking do that. The only players that can actually play every role are like pro players. Like I expect almost nothing from people that get off rolled. Like they say they're off roll, absolute garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like when someone tells me they're off roll in like Masters, they play like they're gold or like platinum at best. It's insane.
Yeah, do you think that like your average player could actually learn to play every role at like a decent level?
I thought so, but maybe it's too much to ask for.
Yeah, like
that's pretty much how the game was back then. You know, like you have to be like pretty decent at every single role.
Yeah, like everyone has like I have like a pick in every role that I default to, right? And even like I talked to Shifter, he's like, yeah, when I play top lane, I play Singed and Malphite. I'm like, yeah, sure, man, go for it. But like at least he's got 2 picks he falls back on, right?
Yeah, like for me when I play top, I only play like Camille right now, you know.
I feel you. Oh, I remember that 25 kill Camille game you had.
Oh god,
that was a good one.
I was so cocky. I was like, "Yo, this game's won already. I can do whatever I want." You gotta just like crept that game up, and like I didn't realize how useless my team was, and I was like, holy shit.
Dude, that right there, that's a solo queue classic. Like, I remember playing that. Yeah, I remember playing that game. Turtle, like, I forget who you were against, but was it Keen that game or no?
That was Keen, yeah.
Yeah,
Keen.
absolutely just shit on him. Like, it wasn't even fucking close. He ended the game with 25 kills, Turtle. And we somehow managed to win it just because their team was so fucking deadweight that it just didn't even matter. Like, that's a whole nother topic, but yeah.
That is a whole nother topic, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I would love for everyone to be able to play one champion in every role, but at least two champions. And if you don't know how to play support, like, you don't have to dodge, but please don't fucking play a playmaker. Like, I'll see these people. I have no idea how to play support. I want to play Thresh this game. It's like,
I hate that.
Yeah, it's like, dude, Thresh isn't a champion. You just like, that's not a champion. You just like, I'm gonna first pick Thresh because I'm auto-filled and I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, fucking kills me, dude. Get me out of this shit. I don't know how it's like for middle though. Is it any different for when you get an auto-filled jungle?
Mid lanes, the only way mid gets auto-filled is if it's a support. And I see Karma every game. Like, they either play Karma or they play like Morgana.
I play Sion.
I mean, Scar's support Vel'Koz is pretty clean, you know?
Oh my god. Dude, support is actually such a weird role. I guess my advice for a mid lane who's looking to play something in the bot lane, like, try to find something. This is going to sound stupid. Try to find something in your role that you're comfortable doing bot lane. Like, I would rather you play like an off meta, weird piece of shit champion than you play Thresh.
Dude, that's what I say all the time is like, I'll have a one trick and he's like, I don't know how to play support. It's like, just pick Kled support, dude. Don't fucking play Blitzcrank. Like, I'd rather him play the champion he knows how to play than I'm gonna play Blitzcrank, dude. Ah, fuck, we lost, man.
Yeah. Like, I've seen Sion support work, right? Like, I've seen Vel'Koz support work, Xerath support work. Like, I'd rather get those, and they're really good on the champions, than try...
First time Blitzcrank.
That's just really hard. First time Blitz.
What do you think of, like, support in general, though? Like, because I'll say Shifter, like, I'll duo him, he'll get auto-filled support. He plays better than, like, most of the people that main support. What do you think of, like, support role in general in terms of like NA skill level?
I actually think like most people that main support they're not very like good at support, I'd say, because like I think just like because like Shifter and like all of us, like we have like a lot more experience. Like we've been playing the game forever, and like support has changed so much like over the years, but like support's pretty much like the same still. Like if you're good at the game and you have like a champion you're like pretty good at as support, I feel like you can just like know what to do during the games. Like I play with Shifter too when he's playing support for me, and it feels like better than most like NA supports because I think he does the right things. Like generally,
that's so depressing. Like whenever I'm watching like bot lane and I see bot laners, and I see the support walk up and he's just S key in the middle of the lane. I'm like, holy shit, the pressure he's putting out is insane. And I feel like
the fact that like I'll have support mains that like they don't even try to get they just stand behind me. It's like, dude, you gotta like, actually do something in the fucking lane. Mm-hmm. And then they'll be like, dude, why can't you win the lane? It's like, you're fucking AFK behind me. What the fuck do you want? The game
encourages you to do that though. The gold game is so high on support. If you're harassing I realize this because I used to go super hard to get all of my like AP item stacks off efficiently, and I realized the difference between me doing that and me not doing that was a difference of 200 gold over the course of 8 minutes. So like, it's not like sometimes if it's like, okay, well, I guess it's just not even worth it. Like I should just play back. And just like it's better for me to dodge the jungle gank than go for aggression. And I think that's kind of sometimes.
Well, that just means
it's like really easy to tell like which support's like good by like how they're positioning a lane. Like if they're positioning like to pressure like their AD carry, like that's a good support, I think.
I actually think one of the biggest things is like I didn't know this till Kitty said it. Is like the hardest thing about playing a good support is just having balls. Walking up, because all you do to play good support. And like it's broken down is you walk up, you dodge their skill shot, and you hit them with yours.
Yeah.
And like,
dude, no one. Yeah,
that,
when I played with you on Delta Fox, that was like my biggest fucking complaint with you. Even though you were tearing it up, dude, I loved it. But
no, it's like I'm not comfortable doing that either. Like, it's so scary for me to walk. And like from a mid lane perspective, it's different because like if I get bound bot lane as I'm walking up, I'm fucking dead. But you have to be able to do that if you want to create leads. Like, every time
dude, I'll play against. I play against Morgana. It's like, dude, I'm fucking I'm like dodging most of her skill shots or some shit, and my support's just like so far back, like I can't get hit with this shit, dude. I can't risk it, man. I can't dodge. It's like, dude, just try to dodge, like try to play up with me. Try to do anything.
Just try.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just put an effort, bro.
I don't know what it is with just NA, but it just, it feels like sometimes people just, I mean, it goes back to, they don't even try. They're just like, I'm just here for the ride, dude. I just want to just carry me, man, and I'll just fucking.
I just want to get carried.
Yeah. That shit, I can't stand it, man. That's rough.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think that, if you get auto-filled support, just be willing to
be confident.
Yeah, just be confident. That's the best way of putting it. Because another thing that I have a big problem with when I play bottom is I'll watch like ADs do like the stupidest fucking positioning and they'll never get punished for it.
They never get punished.
Yeah, my support's like, I can't this guy's playing up. What the fuck do you want me to do? This guy's on top of the creep wave, like auto attacking you. What do I do there, dude? It's like, do something. Just get an auto attack. Like you could just fucking auto him and beat his ass down, but whatever. I could go on about.
I really get that pretty well, about like good supports and bad supports.
Yeah, I could go on about this shit for hours. I'm sure Turtle can't do, but
like my biggest advice is like if you want to, not even for autofill bot lanes, it's like if you want to win lane and not just get carried, learn how to walk up. It's terrifying to do. It's actually
just
scary.
learn to dodge skill shot. Like just dodge the skill shot forehead. But if you walk up, take the risk, you'll eventually learn. Like, okay, when I get to like here, he's probably gonna throw the skill shot. I said dodge. That's like how you can tell. Like when players play like that, that's when I'm like, oh, he knows what the fuck he's doing. Because most of the time, they're never willing to take the risk. They're just, I'll just sit back and relax, dude, and. Mm-hmm. That kind of shit, it doesn't fly.
I mean, but to be fair though, like League kind of like promotes like that type of playstyle. Like League over the years has gotten a lot more like passive to the game, and became like more rewarding to actually like sit back and like wait for gold generation and get these items. And then once you hit these power spikes, it's like let's go now. It's on time.
I agree with you. I think like the biggest culprit of that, especially when I play solo queue, is fucking Ezreal. I think he's one of the easiest champions to punish, but like. It's basically this.
He's still easy to punish.
Yeah, like no one wants to walk up on him, so he just sits there Q spamming the wave, and it's like, what do I like? I gotta dodge the support and the Ezreal fucking Q spamming, and my dude's just fucking sitting here jerking off in a corner. Ezreal's got D shield, so my damage doesn't even fucking matter to him. That shit. Yeah, I agree that the game's definitely promotes a more passive play style.
Yeah, like they even introduced like D Shield, and like D Shield is pretty much like the king of sustaining bot lanes and like farming. You know, like that
D
promotes like
resolve. Holy shit.
Yeah, like
you really don't do damage.
Like
so like just having D Shield in the game just makes like bot lane so like not dynamic at all. It's just pretty much like let's see who farms better. Like maybe I can get a CS lead on this guy by farming slightly better. You know?
Yeah. D-Shield removes that shit, but let's go to the next topic now. So there have been a lot of changes in FlyQuest after their poor last split. What makes this iteration with Quan, St. Vicious, and Santorin more competitive?
So I think like the changes we made for FlyQuest going forward was like a lot of people might think it was like pretty bad, but I think it was like a pretty good change considering like we had a pretty big language barrier last split with the Koreans we had. I think like Flame, obviously like he's pretty good in English. I think like he's been in NA for like a year and a half now. So he's been pretty good. So I think with this iteration of like Conquan, St. Vicious, and Santorin will be a lot better because I think Santorin has like a ton of experience. Like I've worked with him before, and St. Vicious has like a lot of experience like under his belt as well, like with the game aspect. So I think like overall our staff and players should be, I think, better on paper. compared to like last bet. I think last bet our structure is just like awful.
Let me ask. So you're saying it's going to be better. Are we looking at World's Contention FlyQuest to split? Or are you guys just being like, you know what? I think we're like a middle of the pack team and we'll see where we go from there. Like what does the team look like right now?
Well, right now my expectations are just like, I hope we make playoffs. That's pretty much like my expectation. But I do think like if we put in the right work and we practice the right way, like regardless of the players, I think like we can do pretty well. Cause like League is pretty rewarding as a team game, like on the competitive level. Like even if you have like a player that's like really like way better than another player, like if you're playing well as a team and you know how to do this well as a team, I think like you can still like win a lot of games personally.
Okay. You say you think that League's very rewarding and like a team
like cause like the skill gap between players mechanically, like sure this guy could be like way better than you mechanically, but if you're doing like the right decisions all the time, like what I'm trying to say is pretty much like making good decisions is better than like being really good mechanically.
Okay. I mean, I've been saying that forever. I think that League, it's a lot more. You can't 1v9 people. It doesn't matter how fucking good mechanically you are. If you fuck up and you get caught out, you're not gonna fucking Houdini your way out of that shit.
Yeah,
so,
you're not.
Yeah.
Like back then, League was a simpler time. It'd be like, oh, my teammates are trolling, but
yeah,
let's go. Like I'm gonna 1v5.
Yeah, that shit doesn't fly anymore.
It doesn't work anymore. Yeah.
Scar, what do you think of FlyQuest? What do you think? Do you think playoffs, finals, winning the split, world champions?
I think the best way to describe FlyQuest, and someone described this to me at the end of yesterday, was they're actually a shell company for Snickers. And I think that they're just a large promotional company. I wasn't sure of it until the end of last split, but I'm positive now. But I think that they're an interesting team because I like a lot of the players. You, Turtle, and Flame, I actually like you both.
Scott, that's your thing with it. They're an interesting team. Why? Not because of their skill or their like team composition. Yikes. It's because you like their players.
What? I think they're good too. Wait. If I do want to say like,
give me some analytical stuff. I don't want to hear. I like their players.
I actually think Flame was one of the best top laners last split. And
I agree.
It's really surprising to see, like, even though he was one of the best players, it ended up being that, like, FlyQuest didn't do that well around him. Which is, like, so I'm thinking that in an iteration where FlyQuest is a little bit better across the board, maybe he had a lot, like, communication problems. I'm hearing that the first time. Okay, I can understand that, right? I've seen so many teams with Korean communication problems or, like, foreign communication problems. So if that gets fixed, you bring a little bit more structure to the environment, I could see maybe a playoffs ready team, you know? I'm thinking that is like maybe the high point for FlyQuest. Like I think if they in middle of the pack this next split, that'd be a great improvement. And they can work with that to shoot themselves forward in future splits. But
sorry.
I'm interested. Sorry, keep going. I'm good.
So I'm pretty optimistic about like what our plans are. I feel like we do have the potential. Like I think Keen has always been like a pretty good mid laner for the majority, and like Flame he does like pretty well on like laning. Like he's always like getting CS leads like all the time. So I think like right now we have a pretty experienced jungle. Like Anda, I think he had less experience than Centaurn did, so it was like harder for him. Like and jungle was like such an important role like last split too, and I think his communication just wasn't there yet because he was a rookie. But I think Centaurn has like really good comms, so I think that can really propel us like forward.
Well, I've heard a lot about these other guys. What about Conquan? Because I know you worked with Stunt last season, and then he's being apparently transferred to unknown team. Mm-hmm. So what about Conquan? Because he's actually, it's funny enough, he was TSM's was he TSM's translator? He worked with
he was. Yeah.
This season. So your team actually has 3 ex-TSM people on it, which I think is kind of funny.
So I think Conquan, like, he has a lot of potential now. Like, you can definitely tell he's, like, very motivated, and he has, like, something to prove. So I think that was, like, a big reason why we got him. And I think, like, pretty much, like, going forward, it just depends on the players. Like, I think just Summer Split is just going to be, like, a huge surprise for me. I have no idea what's going to really happen. It's really hard for me to say, like, we're going to be a great team. Like, that's just not possible. I think it'll just be, like, how we practice, what's going on, the team dynamic, and everything like that.
Well, can you at least you think you'll at least get to play? You won't be like a last place team.
I mean, that's not the goal. That's all I'm saying. That's not the goal.
All right. Let's go now to the next topic. So both of you are known for specialized off-roll picks like Sion or Lee Sin. Sky typed this up, but he typed it up as him talking to the both of us, but I'm reading this. So, is it better for the game for players to become a specific role specialist or capable in multiple roles? So I guess we talked about this before, but I think that it is important. Like, I think for the skill level of just the general populace to increase, like, you have to learn how to play multiple roles. Like, you don't have to play them great. I'm not asking for, like, everyone to play every role at fucking a god level, but at least a semi-competent level. Like, knowing what to do, knowing where to be, that kind of shit. Is that realistically possible? Hell no. I don't think people give enough of a fuck about this game. I'll be honest, dude. Yeah, if I told someone, hey, dude, you need to go and improve, they're going to tell me, fuck you, I'm going to go play Fortnite instead. I don't think people give enough of a fuck to improve that much. But
okay, what's a realistic thing? So Riot Games thinks you should only need 2. Maybe 3 if you get autofilled. Is 3 out of 5 good enough?
3 out of 5 is like pretty good. I think like being good at like one other role is already like pretty good already. I think. Yeah. Like for me, I like to play like jungle and top a lot when I like off roll. Yeah, my mid just sucks right now, so I can't play mid.
I think if you can play 2 roles, that's great. But most people, like, if they get their secondary role, they're just like, I'm this main. Can I get this instead? So. If you can play 2 roles, that's great. If you can play 3 roles, you're probably pretty fucking decent. And if you can play 4 or 5 roles, then hey, good job, dude. Way to go.
I genuinely think like being good at a different role, or just like playing champions that are in the meta while they're like super meta and like competitive is like really good, because you know like the power spikes of the champions a lot better. You like know what time they come online. So I think those things are like pretty good at practice.
Yeah, it just helps you understand a lot more, because a lot of the times I'll see like people, they just have no fucking idea like what's going on. They'll play against like Camille or some shit and just feed their ass off, and it's like, dude, have you ever even like played against Camille before? Yeah. Like, how are you fucking dying to this shit? Like,
I think Kha'Zix is like one of those champions for me. Like, I just didn't understand how this champion was like one-shotting me all the fucking time. Like,
yeah, it's because he's fucking broken as fuck.
Yeah, like, I was like,
he's still doing that.
Yeah, he's still doing that, but like, yeah, he's still doing that.
Yeah, that champion's fucking gross. But I mean, what do you think, Scar? Do you think people should be able to play? I mean, obviously people should be able to play multiple roles, but do you think people would actually put in the effort to learn multiple roles?
The thing is, it's like, I'd like to think the best of people, right? But it's obviously just not true. Because at the very minimum, I can tell you that, like, they don't even put in the basic effort to go to, like, pro builds or open.
Dude, I'll say that
the top build.
That pisses me off so much. I fucking had Pie Cake Lord, if you're watching this, fuck you. I had this motherfucker in my game. He picked Tom Kench support, and I wasn't even flaming it. I was like, did you even look up what the fuck you're supposed to build? And he was like,
even going pro builds.
Yeah. He said, yeah, I looked it up, dude. And then he went Guardian. He said, everyone goes Guardian now. I didn't even need to look it up, but I looked at it. No one fucking goes Guardian. They go fucking the other bullshit. And it's just like, dude, you have no fucking pressure in lane. You're building the wrong fucking items. Like,
yeah, I think that's like the bare minimum that doesn't get covered. Like, if I'm playing something new, like I tried Soraka support the other day. By the way, fed my ass off. But like, I went on like pro builds and looked at like someone, like I was like Afro or Matt, the recent games. I was like, okay, what's his item build? Like, what am I looking at in terms of like buys? Like, how's his skill order? What's his like tree look like? Like, at least like, I think that's just bare minimum what you should do.
Yeah, you know? I think so too.
And people don't even do that. Like, if you're a main of a champion, I still think sometimes like you're behind the curve a little bit. And I'm just like, how is that possible? And the best way I can describe this is, we are so lucky that in this day and age, the jungle is easy on the first clear. Because in earlier seasons, the jungle was a lot harder. And if you didn't know what to do, it was so obvious because people had no idea how to. The first 4 minutes of the game as a jungler should be your standard clear should be the most obvious thing. You watch one video, 2 times speed takes 50 seconds, and then that's your first clear. Like 4 times speed, 50 seconds. That's your first clear. People don't even do that, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that I would like to think that people want to try it, but it feels like at least for most players only want to play one role.
Yeah.
And I would like to live in a world where at least people can do. Let's start with 2 or 3. That would be my ideal.
Yeah, because I feel like it goes back to what Turtle has said. Like people don't aspire to be pro. Like that's something where like you actually want to be good at the game. Like most people just play the game for fun, and there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying like playing the game for fun's like bad or anything, but like when you have so many for fun players getting to Challenger, it's like shit, dude. That's not very good. So yeah, I can say. Do you think that with what Riot's doing about the role individual rank will help out with that at all, or do you think that what's your take on that?
I didn't even know about that. So they're trying to implement roles rankings?
The thing is, it doesn't matter for us, but it might have a trickle effect because it stops at Masters. So all the ratings get combined when you get to Masters. So, like, that has no relevance to us.
I mean, it will have relevance because in your solo queue games, like, if you do get D1s, which happens pretty often, they'll have to be D1 in their role.
That's really interesting. Okay, like, I think that...
I think that's pretty cool.
It will help, actually.
Yeah, I think that it's really good. But what do you think about it, like overall for the like? I think that that's really bad. I think it's really bad for the game for like new players overall because you have to be. There's like 5 different ranks. The way I look at it is. Maybe you like to look at the best in people. I like to look at the worst. You're just going to have these stupid fucks that are like, oh, you're D1 on support, but you're like gold on mid. You're fucking garbage, dude. Like, you're just going to have people that are just like, I don't want to say going to bully people out of the game, but they're just going to like bully them. Like, do you see that happening? Like, that's one of my biggest.
I think it will happen, like, no matter what. Like,
I think, it will happen no matter what. And at least in this situation, like, they're able to have a role in, like, lower elo where they can play and successfully climb on that role. Like, we've all been there where the support main goes mid lane with, like, Karma or something and, like, doesn't do that well because they're laning against someone who actually mains mid and is a monster. And then that causes your bot lane to get 4-man dove at, like, the 5-minute mark, right? Happens, like, every time.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe in some situation, like if they're starting at that gold level and then they finally play their mid off roll to diamond, it's a lot easier to play your off roll when you're not pressured to perform against players who are way better than you. So I think that there will be like kind of a trickle effect upwards into high elo through this. But the problem is it forces people to play more games.
Yeah.
Like you're queuing up for diamond and then you get off rolled into gold. It's like, wait, shit. I didn't queue up for a gold game. I queued up for a diamond game, you know?
Won't that like separate like the player base a little bit though? Like if that does get implemented?
Yeah.
Like I feel like already there's not that many ranked players in general. Like sometimes I'm on my like diamond smurf and I'm getting like 5 to 10 minute queues and I'm like I find that pretty absurd. Especially at that elo as well.
Yeah, I think that's another problem is like queue times. Like, let's be honest, people like only playing carry type roles, and even though we said everything's a carry, that's not what everyone thinks. Like, they're gonna want to play.
Yeah, that's not everyone.
Yeah, they're gonna want to not play support, not play like top lane, not play those kinds of roles. So I don't know what kind of effect that have on queue times because that sounds pretty fucking bad to me. But.
Yeah, I don't think there's, like, any way to, like, fix it right now, because, like, right now, Riot recently, or not recently, but they pretty much introduced, like, choosing your roles before you're playing, like, you choose 2 roles. And, like, I actually think the other system was actually better, where you pretty much just got into a game with 5 or 4 different players, and there's no roles assigned, you pretty much, like, choose your role, and sometimes you wouldn't get it, so you would have to off-roll. I don't know if that's, like, better, but that's pretty much, like, how I learned about the game pretty much, and that's why I'm like pretty good at other roles too, because like sometimes I would have to play these roles.
I actually really enjoyed that system too. I mean, I understand
think
why
it was one of the worst systems, though.
You think
for the general population, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But I've always enjoyed playing multiple roles. That's the difference, though.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like when I talk about these things, I have to think like from my perspective. It's like I'm up on the ivory tower looking down at all the plebs. Like you guys don't know any better. Like yeah.
It's the easiest way to put it this way. On average, how many games a season do us play between the three of us? Like 2,000? 3,000?
I think I've played 1,000 games already.
I think I played like 500 something probably.
Yeah, so like, well, anyway, by the end of the season, we'll all have played about 2,000 games. Mm-hmm. So it's like, on average, you think that's how, like, the average player plays like 100 games or 200 games over the course of the season. It's like, we have enough games to be able to do, like, talk about it, but.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just hard for me to think of, like, the perspective of, like, I don't want to say a casual player, but someone that, damn, a hard day of work, let me play one game of League of Legends today. It's like, I can't even imagine what that'd be like. Like, I'm just going to play one game of League today, and that's it for the week. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? So, yeah, maybe I don't have a good view on it, but whatever. Let's go to the next topic. How do you tell if an AD... Oh, nice. We talked about this too, but how do you tell if an AD player is good and objectively? How would you rate yourself as an AD main? Well, again, I'll say for how to tell an AD player is good is like they're willing to take risks, but not like stupid risks. Like he thinks he can outtrade the Morgana, which I mean most of the time you can. Like he's gonna work his way up, like dodge the skill shot, and he got good damage in. This guy's like pretty good. Most of the time, they see like any skill shot champ. I'm never going anywhere near this shit. I'm not fighting this at all. Like I will say right now, you don't really have to try to do any of that shit. That's kind of the problem at the moment. Is I mean they don't really have to fight each other, so it's kind of hard to tell how good someone is because it's almost always better to just farm it out, and the damage you get on Morgana realistically isn't going to matter because she has Resolve and Second Wind, and she just heals all fucking damage you deal to her. And you're probably just going to lose the trade just from Aerie and Pool, so it's really hard to tell how good someone is, but you can go Turtle.
I think the best, like, I think for me, like, the best way I can tell, like, if someone's, like, good or not, or like, doing bad is, like, what kind of decisions like make? Like if I'm positioned like this, will they trade with me? And that is like the type of thing like I kind of look for when I'm like playing against other AD carries. Like I would just pretty much like rate them on like decisions they would make. And for example, like swapping a top lane at this time, would it be good or not? And if they don't swap, I think they're like playing the game wrong, you know? And that's pretty much like how I would look at it.
Yeah, I mean, because for me, like I've always valued laning phase probably the most. Honestly, it's not. I don't think that right now it's the most. I mean, it's nowhere near the most important right now.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, that shit doesn't matter at all right now. So it's hard for me to like really get a gauge because I mean, most of the time, like I love AD. I can say I don't think it should be like this. I think it's one of the easiest roles to play because it's pretty.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
It's pretty.
You get carried pretty much.
Yeah, like people will just spin like. All right, well,
I knew it.
Jungle.
I think playing AD carry right now is just like knowing how to get carried. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, like I said it before. It's one of the most fucking heartbreaking things to hear. I forget who said it, but he's like, the best way you can have impact as AD, don't die. I think it was like Banger or some shit that said it. It's like the way you play AD carry is just don't die, and it's like,
yeah,
that's a fucking shit ass role.
Like, I remember like, I think you and like, you and Sneaky were like the most like aggressive AD carries like alongside me, like playing the game. Like we would never like play past it in the lane. We would just fucking like trade all the time. Yeah. And that was like the meta like Graves, Corki, Ezreal, and like we would just trade like all the time. And that was like one of the funnest metas for AD carry, I think.
Yeah, because I felt like that, like, dude, I love LCS and it'll always have a special place in my heart, but it's just so fucking boring now because I can't tell who's better than who. It's like, it's about,
I completely agree.
Yeah, it's about whose team is better than whose other team, and like that. for some people, they love that shit. It's like a big chess game to them, and that's fucking great. I have no problem with it. But like for me individually, I don't give a fuck who has the better team. I want to see like bot lane going at each other's fucking throat. I don't want to see like, oh, he got a gank and now he's gonna slowly win this game now. That shit's just like, it's just boring as fuck to me. So it's hard for me to tell how good a player is because there's just, yeah.
Dude, no, I agree.
Now that you guys say that, it's really interesting because it's like, I don't know how it happens bot lane, but when I look at mid lane, like if you're playing like a certain match, like you're playing against Ori, like you could tell how good the Ori player is by how hard she pressures you on every CS. Literally on every CS, if I have to like beat like kind of take a mini juke to get the CS to get, I'm like, oh wow, this Ori's pressuring me super hard. She knows exactly how to like pressure to like make sure that I'm feeling terrible about my life, you know, and like in like hard matchups. And then bot lane, it used to be the case, I think. And then nowadays, like a lot of times I look bot lane, I'm like, oh, you know, this guy shoved it into the tower, and then this guy's farming under tower, and then they shoved it into tower again. And then on the fifth time, oh, the mid laner showed up with the jungler. All right, the bot lane's dead.
It's just because like the way bot lane works now, it'd be like this for mid lane if you could only buy like a D shield or some shit. But let's say bot lane, I want to take a trade, so I go to auto the AD once. He doesn't auto me back. I should win that trade. He has D shield. It's gonna proc and he's gonna start healing. He didn't auto me, but I took creep aggro. I got hit with the creeps. I lose that trade. Like just the fact that I hit him and he didn't hit me back, I lose that trade. Just auto for auto. It's like, in what fucking world does this make any sense that I should be at the disadvantage for being the aggressor? Like bot lane, it's not always like that. And I mean, you can get leads bottom on your own. But a lot of the times, like, people know how to minimize those risks, and you're just going to get fucked if you try to go for aggressive trades.
I think going off that is, like, I think a good fix, like, the armor change is, like, a good direction to change into. But I also think, like, reducing ranged minions damage would be, like, a pretty good way to go about it, too. Because, like, if you trade while they have ranged minions and you know you're going to win the trade, like, that would be, like, sick. Because right now, if you're trading and ranged minions hit you, it's, like, over. You pretty much lose that trade, like, almost every time.
Yeah, it's pretty, I don't know. I think bot lane, I want to see more expression of skill. Like, whatever Riot can do to make it so I can be like, this guy is a better fucking AD, not this guy has a better team around him to enable him.
No, I would love that direction too. Like, that's kind of like how I pretty much learned how to play League. Like, for me to learn how to play this passive style was like one of the hardest things for me to do, like, ever as a player, I think. Yeah. Because I was never used to, like, not trading, like, just farming. Like, that shit doesn't feel, like, rewarding or, like, fun to play.
Yeah, like, I remember, because, like, I mean, I'm sure Scar even remembers, back when we played against Turtle, like, he was, like, even when he played mid lane, even when he played mid lane, he played Gragas, and he just, like, he just tried to fucking kill your ass. Like,
The best story I have about this is, like, when Darius tells the story of Turtle playing mid Gragas against Messiah, which, by the way, star player of World Elite, mid lane god. Darius is just like, yeah, Turtle was just like, yeah, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if it can happen. And then, like, you just solo kill him in the game. And like, I just remember as you guys, like, that crazy fucking player that, like, I had to be careful of because, like, even if I gave an inch, you'd try to take the mile, even if it wasn't the right play. And so, like, it's weird that I don't feel that way about players anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
Like right now, it feels like if someone gives me an inch, I'm gonna take a centimeter. Like,
yeah, you'll take.
It's like, you're giving me this. Yeah, you're giving me this. I'll take whatever the fuck I can get, dude. I'm not gonna greed out for the inch. I'll just take a little piece of it, and that just feels like.
It's like, oh hey, you got Doran Shield, I'll heal you for you.
Yeah. Dude, like
it's sad when like one of the highest forms of skill expression right now is like you blocking the Ezreal Q that will take the cannon and the minion. Yeah,
no, seriously. I feel like I did so much blocking that clan. I'm like, wow, I just got myself.
Yeah, like the AD lost 60 gold right there. Holy shit, I outplayed the shit out of them. Good, all a day's work, guys.
Yeah, like, dude, I'll feel good about myself. It's like, this lane's going rough. I'm down 50 HP. oh, Morgana just pulled, I'm going to step in it so my D shield heals me. I'm going to get one tick of it so my D shield heals. Like, these kind of decisions, this is the stupidest fucking shit that I'm doing down here, but it's just like, dude, this is what you got to work with. So, I'll say for the second half of the question, how would you rate yourself as an AD main? I don't know how fucking good I am, dude. So
yeah, I think that's like a pretty hard question to like rate yourself. Like obviously, I think like myself, like if I'm making good decisions, I'm doing like the right plays all the time. Like I feel like I'm playing well. But it's like, dude, ask me to rate myself in this current meta is like super hard. I think.
Yeah.
This meta is like, who knows how to farm better? I think that's how it is. And that's how you like tell yourself like if you're doing it. Like for me, like, obviously, like I can probably like out farm these solo queue guys like a lot, but like I wouldn't be able to put like a number on myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like dude, I'll play some games and it's like, God, I'm like destroying this guy, and then I'll just lose it, and it's like, fuck, I guess I wasn't destroying him.
Okay, actually, to talk about that question again is like, all right, so if my team is doing good, my mid and jungle is doing good, I'm gonna be the better AD carry than the other guy. All the time, because I can just use all the resources, you know?
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, like, it sounds like such a stupid answer, but yeah, if my team's doing well, I know that I'm gonna and also, if the game goes to like 50 minutes, I always feel like I can win the game, because I think that I'll be able to like outperform them in a team fight when everyone's equal compared to like when everyone's fucking like mismatched or whatever. But, like, until either of those points happen, it's just like, I mean, maybe I can win, but I have no fucking idea. Like. Yeah, like, and I'll say, I don't know if that's, like, my fault. I don't know if I'm just, like, because maybe I could just be fucking garbage. I have no fucking idea, because...
You really have no idea right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I have no... I mean, Scar, let me ask you, what would you rate us?
I don't. The weird thing is I don't know, because like I'm not even gonna talk about rating you, Cutie. Just like, you know, double lift up here, and you're like,
all right, fair enough.
And then like for Turtle, it's like I watch LCS quite a bit. Like I think this season I watched about half the games, maybe a little bit under half, like 30%. And I can't tell. Sometimes like I'll be talking up this bot lane, and then they just get smashed the next game, and I'll be like, did they get smashed, or like, you know, this happened because their team just did better. And like, I'm looking at like, you know, TSM got smashed for a large majority of the games. I'm looking at Sven and Mithy, and Sven especially. I'm just like, this guy's playing out of his mind, but he's losing every single game. And I don't know if that's like it's weird. I think evaluating ADs are so difficult unless they do something really flashy. Like, if the AD consistently kills himself, you can point to him and be like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
But aside from that, everything's homogenous, and that's actually what makes me really sad about watching LCS. It's like I don't watch play style differences. I watch because I like the players. Like I think there's like, yeah.
All right, sorry. You can continue.
No. I just I like because I watch because I like the players, not for different play styles anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there's not enough individual play style. Like everyone just like trading is just not a thing anymore. Like pretty much like you're just gonna rate who's a better AD carry by who's getting that small CS lead. Like, if this guy's getting a 5 CS lead on you, he's probably slightly playing better than you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it is.
Yeah, that shit just makes me laugh. If he gets a 5 CS lead, it's like, I remember back in my day, I don't want to take you guys on the time machine, like a 5 CS lead, who gives a fuck, dude? But just hearing you say, whoever gets a 5 CS lead, that's maybe the better player, it's like...
That's pretty much like how it's like evolved, though. You know what I mean? Like how the game, like the game state. That's pretty much how it is. That's how I view it. And like the biggest reason why bot lane is like the best role right now is just because of the duo. You know, like supports are insanely strong. So that's like how I feel about it. That's pretty much just how I feel about it.
That's what I've been saying this whole time. It's good to have more people. Eventually, Riot Games will listen and just fucking nuke the support role. Eventually.
We'll see what happens in the 8.11. I'm actually really interested to see if like ADs just start like taking over.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if you get good at Lucian, that shit's OP. Like, it's already OP. And I'm telling you, you can climb.
Dude, I looked at Essence Reaver, the new Essence Reaver, and I was like, this item was like specifically made for.
It was made for him.
Yeah. So
OP. Holy shit.
It was made for.
I might give him a whirl, but let's go to the next topic. With the mana regen buffs to mages, a lot of poke mages are coming back bot lane, like Soraka and Karma. Do you enjoy when poke lanes are meta? Dude,
Nope.
hell
nope,
no.
nope.
Because the problem is, I will say, like, so let's go back in time again. I'm going on the time machine, but I used
Take
to
me with you, bro.
I used to play against things like Sona that were considered poke mages. It's like, oh my god, it's Sona. She has 400 health and 13 armor. I better not fuck with her. But it's like, wait, I can insta kill her. Now you play against Karma, Soraka, whatever the fuck. They run Resolve. They have 600 health. They reduce like 40 damage a hit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I mean, I can't fight back, and you're just gonna maul me to death, and you're gonna also outscale me if you get a lead. Because like these poke mages, they'll solo kill you if they get a lead on you.
Yeah, they will. They will.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just hate, like, I think it was like season 4 or 5, like when it transitioned, like supports becoming stronger, and I was like getting really annoyed that when I traded with these supports, I'm losing every single time. I'm like, wow, how is this happening? I'm trading with this support and I'm losing every single trade.
Yeah, like,
and
yeah.
Sorry, you go.
Before supports, they had to like be smart about it. It's like, I can't go in for this trade. I might get all in. Now it's like Karma. I'll play against Karma. She doesn't even try to, like, she'll just mantra randomly, and then she'll just walk up to me, and it's like, dude, you're not even fucking trying to, like, play this shit out well, but it doesn't matter because I can't fucking punish you. So it's like,
yep.
I don't mind poke mages, but the way that it is right now, I definitely think that it's a big problem, and they should be looked at the very least.
There just needs to be like a downside of like picking these things. Like, in competitive, like picking a range support means you don't have like, I guess, like a tank in bot lane to like contest vision. But like in solo queue, like there's no counterplay because no one knows how to abuse these champions correctly. Like no player at least in North America, like no one does it well.
Yeah, like in solo queue, it can just feel like the most miserable thing. Because again, like I said before, like a lot of players, like they can dodge mantra queue. It can be.
It's hard.
Yeah, it can be tough, but you can dodge it. But most people won't even like the supports. They're not even gonna try to fight each other. It's just like everyone throws shit at the other ADC, and then whoever's ADC didn't dodge enough skills just fucking lost. And it's like,
I actually get really upset when I see Karma players. I'm gonna be 100%. I think that a lot of times I see like mid laners who play Karma. And I see support Karma players. And I see the mid laners who play Karma understand like how to edge their mantra Q, like what to look for. And I see support players just throw out their Q on like the back line and they just try to hit. Or like they just throw out their Q randomly.
That's what everyone does is they just throw it at the back line and try to splash you with it.
They don't even think about it. They don't even think that's not a skill shot you even think about anymore. They just shoot it.
Yeah,
it like makes me annoyed because it's like now they have so much more mana regen. When I saw the Morgana change to give her 15 mana regen at level 1, I was like, you guys are wild. This champ's already seeing a ton of play. Why is she seeing like this much more?
No, it's
this much
insane.
more mana regen. Like everyone bot lane, I just see spamming the hell out of their abilities. I'm just like, well, if D-Shield wasn't a thing, I'm pretty sure ADs couldn't lane. Actually.
Yeah, no, if D-Shield wasn't a thing, you'd pretty much just get absolutely smacked. Like, dude, just not even, like, standing in Morg Pool, just getting ticked once and then hit with the follow-up Airy. If you didn't have D-Shield, you just fucking lose lane off that. That pains me to say, because, like, Morg Pool ticks for, like, 10 damage. And she has infinite mana, though, and Airy does, like, 30 damage. So it just keeps adding up over and over again. And since they gave her the mana regen, it's pretty dumb. I do think, though, that, what do you guys think of the Resolve tree? I think that it's a pretty fucking problematic thing. Like,
okay.
I'll say, to start off, I think the mastery system's cool. I love it. Great job, Riot. But, like, I'll just say that. It's such a fucking... I hate the goddamn system so much, because it's like, before, champions would have flaws, Now you can cover any fly you have. Like, I want to pick a poke mage. I'm going to die instantly. Well, I'm just going to go resolve then. And you know what? I'll just get more fucking damage on top of it with, like, getting airy. So you can't do anything to me, and I'll just fucking kill your ass.
So the thing is with Resolve is, like, it's pretty troll that they even added the new mastery called Chrysalis. Because, like, that's pretty much like, if I get 4 takedowns, I'm going to get 15 AP. Yeah. And that's, like, not a defensive summoner, you know? Like, you get 60 HP, and if you get 4 takedowns, it becomes 15 AP.
Yeah.
Like, why is, like, something in the defensive tree, like, giving you offense?
I just think that, like...
Why is that a thing?
I think, for the most part, it's something where it's, like, I don't even know if Resolve should be able to be taken as a secondary. But I do think without Resolve, I couldn't play any of my champions that I want. I think if you try to play any mid laner or non-meta champion, like the thing is, Resolve secondary should help you smooth out the hardest hell matchups. If I play Diana versus like a Zero or like Ori, I'm gonna get just shit on unless I have Resolve.
See, that's the problem. Is like, maybe I'm not a game designer, so I have no fucking idea. But like, that should be how it goes. Like, you want to pick a shitty matchup, you're gonna fucking lose that matchup. Now it's like, you want to pick a shitty matchup, just go Resolve. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Maybe that should be the case for sure. But it's like, I think that it increases champion viability to have you able to get through bad matchups, not terribly. Like, by going through some Ori matchups now, I'll be down like 10 CS instead of like 20.
But don't you think, like, having Doran Shield and, like, going into the defensive tree, that's just, like, overkill and like, things.
Oh, yeah, no. It 100% is. I think that, like, the biggest problem is that the offenders of a Resolve are, like, the ones that are, like, the meta champions. When you put the meta champions that are already great at laning, and they give them a Resolve tree that lets them lane even better, it just feels terrible. Like, it feels like all they're doing is, like, sure, they increase the champion viability of some champions, but it made other champions impossible for me to deal with. Like, I cannot kill as an assassin a Resolve tree control, like Cassio, or they don't even need to go Resolve, actually. These just kill me anyways. But like, if they did, they had to go that plus like Barrier, I will never be able to win that. And they'll always be able to beat me. So it's just like, I think that they had good intentions, but it worked out really poorly.
Yeah, like, I'll say, before, I really liked the old mastery system, and you're going to probably wonder, why do I like it? It's because the mastery system, those things in there, they didn't fucking matter at all. Like, half of them were like, it gives you 2% more damage. This gives you 5% more attack speed. Like, in the long run, no one noticed it. No one really gave a fuck about half the shit that it gave you. Like, it's different in the other trees because you had, like, Thunderlords and shit. But, like, for AD, I just remember, you want this thing that gave you more damage, this other bullshit, who gives a fuck? Just go some random shit. Dude. But now, like... Yeah, now
we just go split on AD carry now.
Yeah, like, I guess for AD, like, nothing's really changed with this system because you still go like shit that you barely even can tell that you have, like fleet footwork and stuff. But
and before like fleet, it was just like everyone was just getting warlords too. Like,
now I'm not even talking about warlords. I'm talking about, like, what was the old, like, rune system or whatever? It was like you have the
it's Storm Raiders, and there was fucking.
Well, what was it before, like, Warlords and all that, though? I'm talking about that. I really liked it when it was like that because those things didn't fucking matter at all. So it was like, you could pick them and you could feel good about yourself, but like ultimately, it's like letting the champions express themselves in like ways that matter. Now it's like the champions don't really like. Yeah, you can just pick Diana, go Resolve, and you just drill on yourself because it doesn't fucking matter what they do against you. Like, I'll see so many times, like, Shifter will lane versus Diana, and she'll just, like, sit in the wave, and it doesn't matter. Like, she's not taking damage, she's just sitting there. And I hate that shit. I hate that shit with a passion.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I remember, well, yeah, and you can tell because in the old days, you used to argue about how good Feast was on the old Masters. Like, it was giving you too much health in the lane, and they had to nerf it because it was too good. Yeah, nowadays, like, the Feast is still there. Actually, it's probably just as good as the old one. But people don't complain about it because bone plating's in the game. because Chrysalis is in the game, because you got like Fleet over here with like Conquer over there and like random stuff to where like I just think it makes the game super hard to balance.
So
I think there's even less. There's not even any more skill expression choosing your masteries. There's always still an optimal thing to do.
So I actually think like the masteries should be changed in a way where there's like more active. Like I feel like the Zanya, the stopwatch thing was like a really good addition to the game. But obviously it got nerfed to the ground. But like those things make the like masteries more impactful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I just want like more active from passive.
Yeah, like I really like stopwatch. Like everyone complained about it, and honestly, I can't blame them for complaining about it. But it felt like you had to do something to be good at it. Like if you just Zanya's fucking randomly, if you get all in randomly and you waste it, it's like, damn,
you just die.
Yeah. But now it's like, okay, no one goes that shit. Now they're just gonna go resolve and just tank through it all. Now they don't even need a fucking Zanya's because they're just gonna face tank everything. So
I actually think like just having masteries be like more, I guess, dynamic would be like a pretty good change, because like most of these passives are fairly passive. You know what I mean? Like these masteries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love for. I love the mastery system, and kudos to Riot for coming up with it, but I have some problems with it. I mean, I think that it's a cool idea. I like the idea behind it, but I think that it brings a lot of problems. Like, because, yeah, people will say, like, you have to go resolve to handle laning versus this other shit, but, like, you only have to go resolve because everything else is so stupid. Like, you have to go resolve because if you don't, Ares gonna beat your fucking face in. Like, if you got rid of all of this shit and just let the champions, like, express themselves.
No, it's true. The new trees added so much extra damage into the game. Like, fucking Janna became a poke champion. Like, that should tell you how like weird the game went when Janna became like a poke support. It's like, wait a second. Yeah. Riot had to nerf this champion just because the mastery system made her like overtuned. Or she was always good and she went over the top with Ares spam, right? So it's like, I agree. Like mid lane, it feels impossible for me. Like if I were to lane without resolve against Orianna, for instance, or Azir, and I don't have like defensive trees at all, I can't play anything on non-meta. Like almost everything would kill me. Like it feels terrible to try to lane mid lane against any meta pick right now because the amount of damage it can do is just so high. I honestly feels incredibly difficult.
All right, let's go though to the final topic. Don't want to keep the people waiting because you know it's everyone's favorite. I know this is WildTurtle's favorite. Live question and answers, ladies and gentlemen. You got questions, we got answers. Let me start off. Let's start off with a. This is a great question, actually. This is a philosophical one too. Lord Wizard wants to know for all of us: do you think today's world and reality reflects on our limits, our toxicity in League of Legends?
I mean, I just think the average human is more toxic, or just toxic.
Do you think that it's Riot's job to stop that from? Because I remember like the Riot Light shit. It felt so weird because it was like Riot was on like a pilgrimage to like to reform. It was like they were reforming humanity or some shit. Like they were trying to adjust the way that people are. Like it fucking felt weird. I think people are just toxic. Who gives a fuck? Like just let them be toxic. I mean. I guess to be fair, I don't know what it's like to. I'm an emotional guy, and I don't know. I haven't experienced it, thank God, what it's like to be told a lot of mean things online that has made me question myself as a person. But I feel like it wouldn't be that bad if someone did it to me still. Like, what? How do you guys feel about that? Obviously it would be bad. Like anyone making people feel bad about themselves is bad, but is it Riot's job to take care of it?
I don't know. That's hard to say. It's like pretty much like Riot acting like the parent for everyone, you know what I mean?
I think if Riot wants to do it, they can go ahead and do it. It's their money they want to spend and their time they want to spend to try to do it, you know? I think do they have to? Nah, they don't.
Yeah, I think they have.
I'm like, I just think if they're gonna do it, they should try to make it like equal across regions. Like, I think that right now, like, you know, you look at NA, and I think that, you know, I complain about people not caring, but I think that a lot of it is, it's nice that I can go into games without getting flamed every game, you know? And I think that in Europe, if I were to go into Europe, I would get flamed literally every game. For some of the picks that I do, some of the things that I play, it would be bad. Like, I guarantee you. I just think that, like, if they want to enforce those kind of things, like, if you want to be, like, the overseer for this, just be equal across all platforms or all regions.
All right. Zalex wants to know, do you think anyone could properly play support without having a concept of other roles? I think that knowing how to play other roles helps significantly with playing support.
Yes.
So
100%.
I think so too. Yeah, I think to be like an amazing support, you should probably know how to play other roles, because just knowing how to play both people in the bot lane, AD and support, helps you play like both positions immensely. Like, knowing this guy's probably going to look for this, so I can do this, or knowing like how he wants to play this lane out, that kind of stuff, it helps out a fuck ton.
Even like knowing the jungler, you know?
I think if you're a support, man, you should know how to play AD carry as well, and just like get a feel for like what your AD carry kind of wants, like how weak they really feel, and like you can really feel how weak the AD carry is like once you play it, I think, compared to like the support, I guess.
Yeah.
I also think that helps. One of the worst things about supports is that it's like a really non-mechanical role. So to like make sure your mechanics are like kept in a good spot, like AD carry is a good role to off roll if you're a support main.
Lord Wizard wants to know, do you think that the communication between bot and support is limited if you are in duo? That plays a factor between support mains and people that are autofilled. And as a support main, you think it's hard to climb as a support versus other roles, and that plays a factor in why no one wants to play it. I'll say, I think it's pretty easy to climb as a support if you know how to play it well and you pick like champion. If you're picking fucking Janna every game, dude, like, you might get a player that's not very good at AD, and yeah, you're not gonna fucking climb. But if you're picking things like playmakers, like, yeah, if you pick Rakan, if you pick like a damage dealer like Brand, if you pick like a tank like Alistar and Initiate, those kinds of things all fucking help. So if you do that shit, I don't think it's that hard to carry as a support. What do you guys think?
It's just excuses.
Excuses, just like that.
I think if you're whatever role you play, you can go up the ladder. Some it might be easier to go up the ladder in lower elo in non-support roles, but especially with how powerful they are right now, like, you can carry with any role, right? It's just like it's like the same thing when people ask me, Scar, what champion should I pick to get out of plat or gold? And I'm just like, the champion doesn't matter. Literally, you can play whatever you want.
I agree. I agree with that statement. Like, I think only meta picks matter once you're like higher elo, but like once you're playing at the bottom, it's pretty much just like how you utilize your champion and like what kind of mind games you're playing.
The only thing I want to say is the exception is if you're playing a champion that's too mechanically difficult for you. So if you're not proficient enough to play something like Yasuo or like Nidalee, that might make your climb very difficult.
Raptor Loopy wants to know, do you think people care less because if someone's feeding, you can't even flame them, so why bother? I think that that's a part of the problem, because I'll be honest, if someone starts feeding in my game, maybe I'll like say something, but in my head, I'll just like clock out of the game. It's like, this guy's fucking 0-5-0, like, this shit's over. I'm just gonna fucking, like, who gives a fuck? If I could feel myself get invested in it, like, hey, you stupid fuck, like, you need to start doing this, I could be like, oh my, like, maybe I can get through to him and make him realize so we can win this shit. But the way that it is right now, if someone feeds, I'm just like, I'm just gonna do something. I'm just gonna fucking, like, I'll be honest, sometimes when if someone's feeding their ass off, I'll be in the game, but I'll just like alt tab and like look at Reddit while I'm playing. Like, it's like, this shit's lost. I don't really give a fuck. It's awful. It's awful to say that, but it's just like,
I've never done that, man.
Like sometimes the games feel like, why am I even trying to bother to win this shit? Like no one fucking. What are your guys' take on it?
Scar, you can go ahead first.
And recently, like, I got into, like, some of a bet with Box to see who can hit Challenger first, because the other person has to do some stupid punishment, right? So I started trying a little bit more in my games recently, and the biggest thing about solo queue and why it's hard for me to take it, like, super seriously is not only because I don't want to play any meta pick, like, just straight up, they're just boring to me, but also because, like, the more effort I put into wanting to win, the more toxic it's not even toxic. I invest too much into it. So like, if I lose the game, I feel worse overall. Like, I had 2 losses in a row yesterday. Literally made me feel like turning off my stream. Like, maybe not that bad, but I just felt like really bad after it. And I thought to myself, I was like, I wouldn't really feel this way if I was just a normal day. But like, I had like really, really bad losses that I was like, man, those games just suck the life out of me, kind of stuff. And so I think that if you're taking the game seriously, you invest yourself in more of the games. That's why, like, I guess we talked about toxicity meaning they care more. It's just because no one knows how to deal with that. Not many people, like, at the age group know how to deal with that, like, positively. Usually it's just, like, they lash out because they're emotional. But it is definitely something where it's, like, it's just difficult to put yourself out there if you're in a group that doesn't.
Yeah.
So you want to be caring if everyone else on your team is caring, but like you can't guarantee that.
I think that's like pretty much like how I felt about the game, like a lot, like when I was starting out, like pretty much like I would be the player who's like not performing that well, and like everyone would be flaming my ass, and I'm like, holy shit. So like one of the stories like I remember a lot was like I think I was like 1600 elo back then. That's like probably like gold or something. And this is when like the season just restarted, and then I got like Dan in my game. He was playing like Warwick or something. And this is when you started playing like Garen and Tarek bottom like together, and I was like playing Garen, and like I accidentally like stole one of his wolves, and then he just like flamed me the whole game, like added me on like his blacklist and everything. I'm like, holy shit, dude! He like just flamed me the whole game, dude. And I was like, Jesus, Dan's a pretty aggressive guy.
Did that make you want to get better though?
Yeah, it did. I think like everyone that flamed me back then was just like pretty much. I guess they were like kind of looking out for me. They're like, "Yo, you gotta get better, or you can't play with us." You know what I mean?
Wait. The way I see it is like you're the outliers. So let's say that the other people flame 10 people a day. You know, you're the cream that rose to the top. You know, the other 9 people, they're not playing the game anymore. You know what they're playing? They're playing Fortnite.
That's true.
And so it's like maybe it made you care more, but I would say that like you're able to take the heat. A lot of people, I don't know if they can.
All right, let's go. I'll do a final Discord topic. This will be a great one. Psycho Monkey wants to know, what's your favorite pizza toppings? I'll say my pizza order, I like to get the garlic crust, the garlic stuffed crust, extra cheese, pepperoni, onions, and jalapeno.
All right. For me, I mean, I pretty much just get like veggies normally. I don't like meat on my pizza. I like.
Are you
really?
Are you like semi-vegetarian? Or what?
No, not at all. I eat a lot of meat, but I just prefer like veggie, like olives, mushrooms, green peppers.
That's your ideal pizza: olive, mushrooms, and green peppers.
Yeah, that's my ideal pizza. Yeah, it's pretty basic, but it's doing wonders.
That's definitely not big. I don't think I've ever met someone. I like olives, mushrooms on my pizza.
Jesus.
I respect that though. Scar, what's your ideal pizza?
If it's done well, I like I like white pizza with
white pizza.
Like, yeah, it's like when you replace the pizza base where most of the pizza uses like I think it's marinara sauce. You replace it with
the Alfredo
sauce instead. And so I like that with spinach, pineapple, use some sort of protein, usually like sausage or chicken.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Wait, I grew up on spinach pizza. Literally, my mom was always so worried for my health because we were eating poorly. Like even in that, we would go to all you could eat CC's with I'm tangenting this so hard.
God.
All you could eat CC's pizza, and my mom would bring me the spinach pizza and be like, Scar, make sure to eat your spinach today. I'd be like, you know what? I guess I
can't even tell if I'm fucked up or if you got. This guy likes olive mushroom pizza, and you like Alfredo sauce pineapple pizza. What?
I mean, to each their own. Every person's their own personality,
You got, dude. I'm just gonna end this show on that, dude. Whatever. That's gonna be it for BTR episode number 85. I want to thank you guys for coming in. I want to thank Scar. Scar, if the people want more of you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch or Twitter under Scar. I'll be streaming in like 10 minutes after this.
WildTurtle, if the people want more of you, where can they get you?
I'm WildTurtle on Twitter and Twitch. And that's where you'll find me. Nice. You guys know where to find me. That's going to be it for Beyond the Rift. Make sure to tune in next Thursday, 5 p.m. EST. Lots of great stuff happening. But that's it for us today. Goodbye, everyone. Peace out. Peace out.